Hey besties, and welcome to May's Corner. I am your host May, and welcome to my corner of the universe. I can't believe I'm even saying this out loud right now. I'm literally filming my first ever podcast in my apartment here in Seattle. And yeah, it's all happening. And so we're here. So today's episode, I'm just going to be interviewing myself so that you guys can kind of get to know me and talk about why I even started this podcast in the first place. A couple months ago, I turned 30, 1995 babies, where you at? And I knew deep down in my soul that I have always wanted to do like a podcast, but I never took action or anything because I was so scared of showing up online, what people might think of me, and being vulnerable, because a podcast is putting yourself out there and you kind of have to be vulnerable. And I was just scared of what people were going to think of me. But you know what? You can think anything of me. I don't care. We're here. We're vibing. We're chilling. Anyways, yeah, I did it all. I did it right. I'd like to think that I did life right. I am a first generation immigrant. I went to college. I got my degree. I went to PTA school. I got my license. I started my first big girl job and I started working. And after working in my field for a couple years, I knew that, although I will say I love what I do, I wouldn't trade it for the world, but I knew that I wanted to do other things and I wanted to pursue like other passions and really tap into like my creativity. And hosting my own podcast is something that I knew that I wanted to do. So here I am taking that action. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. I still don't really know what I'm doing, but that's the point, right? And on today's episode, we're just going to talk about me. I make myself laugh. Anyways, I'm going to be interviewing myself so that you guys can kind of get to know me and, feel it out, feel the vibes, and yeah, see how extra I really am. So I have a bunch of questions here that I'm going to ask myself. And yeah, before we get into it, I would like to start off each podcast with the segment that I call Sip of the Week. If you know me personally, you know that I made a matcha page a couple months ago because I am obsessed with matcha. I quit coffee, so I needed to find an alternative. And matcha has been so good to me. And so my Instagram name is literally called Matcha Sips. So I took the sips part and calling this segment Sip of the Week. And it's going to be not just matcha, but just like random drinks like maybe I see online, or if I'm in the store, if I see something is blowing up on social media, I'm going to try it out. So for this week's Sip of the Week, it is this soda, the prebiotic soda that's been popular lately. It's called Olipop, and it is in the flavor cream soda. And I feel like these types of drinks are getting like a bad rep on Instagram because obviously like it's soda and it's still, I guess, not the best for you, but I think it's okay and everything's a balance. I'm not going to be drinking this every day, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So let's try it out. It better be good because I walked to QFC to get these, so it better be good. Ooh, it's giving like ice cream float. Like it's giving Fanta with like the ice cream, things that I used to eat that when I was a kid. Okay. Period. So I can't wait to try more flavors. I have another one in the fridge, but I'm saving that for later. But anyways, what's going on in my life? So this week I worked a little bit more than extra, I worked on a Sunday because I am traveling this week. I'm going to be going to LA to be attending a dance convention. So I'm very excited about that. Very excited to hang out with some of the shuffle girls here in Seattle, meet new people, reunite with some friends that I haven't seen in a while. It's going to be great. So yeah, it's just been work and getting ready to travel. So yeah, that's what's going on in my life. So let's get into the interviewing myself part. So I have some questions here that I'm going to ask myself and we'll see where it goes. So, May. I feel so weird asking myself these questions. You guys ever go like to an interview and just be like so nervous because you have to talk about yourself and you have to make yourself sound good, but you also don't want to be too cocky, but you want to be humble, but you want to talk good about yourself. It's just such a weird experience. Anyways, let's get into it. So first question is, what's something people assume about me that's completely wrong? I would say a lot of people assume that I'm an extrovert because I'm very bubbly and outgoing. But in all honesty, I am one of the biggest introverts there is because I like to recharge by myself. Like I would be completely satisfied spending time by myself, like on my couch, reading a book, binge watching a show, and I would totally be happy. Like big groups or like big parties where I don't know a lot of people, I freak out. And when I was growing up, I thought that I was an extrovert because I craved human like connection because I'm an only child and I grew up in the middle of nowhere. I always wanted to be hanging out with people. So I would go to like parties and like we would have potlucks in Hawaii. But I totally remember like being so anxious, but I wouldn't tell anyone. I didn't understand it at the time because I'm like by myself all the time. But when I was with a bunch of people, I would freak out. And so I would just go with the flow and be okay or pretend to be okay in the moment. But once I got home and I was by myself, I felt so good. I remember I would think to myself like, oh my God, I'm by myself and I am so happy. But I never really understood that until recently. So yeah, I am an introvert. I'm very outgoing. I'm very bubbly. I have a very like bubbly personality, but I would rather be by myself in my apartment, on my couch, and not talk to anyone. That's how I get my energy. So yeah, I think a lot of people assume that I'm this extroverted, bubbly girly. Nah, your girl just wants to stay home and rot on her couch. Second question, what phase of my life am I currently in? Ooh, I would like to say that I am in my healing my inner child era. I've been very playful lately. I've been very like whimsical. And your girl is in therapy, which, you know, nothing to be ashamed of. I love therapy. Shout out to my therapist. Love you, girl. It has definitely changed how I view my life, how I talk to myself, the actions that I do. So yeah, I think I'm in my healing era. I'm always going to be in my healing era. There's always going to be something to work on. But definitely a couple years ago, if you were to tell me that I was doing all these things for self-development and reaching my highest self, I would be like, that's BS. That's some foo-foo shit. But I would like to say I am very much in my healing era right now. Next question. What's something I'm proud of but don't talk about enough? Ooh, that's deep. I would say moving to Seattle from Hawaii is something that I truly am proud of. I may talk about it. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I moved from Hawaii, blah, 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 blah. But like, I don't think a lot of people know how hard it is to leave an island where you call home and come to a big city like Seattle. It's very scary. So I'm very proud of myself for that. You know, if you're someone who is on the fence of like leaving your hometown even for just a couple years, I say do it. You discover so much about yourself and you learn a lot of things. You experience things that you never really experienced growing up. You meet a lot of people. And yeah, I feel like I'm just so proud of myself for doing that. And I continue to be proud of myself. I have a lot of moments here in the mainland. And I always say to myself, like, wow, I'm actually doing this. Like, wow, I can't believe like I just experienced that. So I'm definitely proud of that. Next question. What are my red flags? Ugh, my red flags. So I have over like 50 or maybe even more unread messages on my phone. I'm just so bad at reading my text messages. And oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to expose myself right now. I am so picky and selective on who gets a reply back fast. Like, honestly, like if it's someone that I'm just like, okay, that can wait till tomorrow, I will wait till tomorrow. And then that tomorrow will turn into like a couple days later and then a week later. And then I realize that I didn't respond to that person. So if I respond to you right away, I really do love you. And yeah, that definitely is one of my biggest red flags. And my mail, my Gmail, oh my God. I cannot get myself to delete my messages in my Gmail. I'm just like, whatever. I don't even know if that's a red flag or not. But I would say not responding to text messages right away is definitely one of my biggest red flags. So I'm very sorry if I didn't text you back right away. I've just been trying to be not on my phone all the time is one of my goals for this year. I feel like my attention span has definitely gotten worse because of my phone. So I've been trying to just retrain my brain to not be on my phone so much. So yeah, I think that's another reason as to why I don't reply back as fast, which is probably a good thing. So not really sure if that answers the question, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, next question. What's a moment I wish I could relive because it felt so good? Ooh, oh my gosh. Wait, let me think about this. Okay. So EDC 2020, I don't know what year it was, but me and my friends, my rave fam from Hawaii, shout out to you guys. I love you guys so much. We were at Kinetic Field main stage, like front row. We were at Zed. And Zed was playing just like his absolute bangers. And I was not expecting to like Zed's set so much because obviously like Zed is like super mainstream. And yeah, if you're into like the EDM world, you know what I mean. And so I wasn't expecting much, but I think it was because I was with my best friends and we were like just listening to the EDM music. We were front row, we were together. And it was just his classics. It just felt so magical and I felt just like so connected to my friends. I love my rave fam so much. They are the reason why I am and who I am today. They have accepted me. We've been through a lot together. I would call like my rave fam like the rave fam who has seen me at my messiest and worst. And like till this day, they still love me no matter what. They have my back. So that was just another, that was one of the moments that I wish I could relive forever. And another one that I wish I could relive forever, I don't think it's a moment in particular, but last year in November, I hosted a shuffle retreat with my friend Kento in Hawaii, and it was just so magical. It was probably like the best thing I've ever experienced in my life. Like I was in Hawaii with my friends, and we were just dancing together and vibing, and I really got to know like each and every one of them on like a deeper level. And yeah, it was just like such a vibe. It healed me in so many ways. I think one particular moment that I cannot get out of my head like till this day is when we hiked up Lanikai and we were just shuffling on the pillboxes looking at the beach. Like it was like so surreal. Like, wow, I really curated this experience for these humans. With the help of my friend, of course, but that is something that I never thought that I would do, but your girl did it. We did that shit. Next question. What's my favorite way to romanticize my life? Okay, this is going to sound really weird, but ever since I was a little girl, I've been doing this for like a really long time. I don't know if it's just because my imagination was wild as a kid and I was an only child and I had to entertain myself, like, because I had no one to play with. I would pretend that I am in a movie when I would do things, right? Like, I would be like walking to school, like getting ready, like just pretending there's music playing in the background and I'm just having like my main character energy. I still do that till this day. Like, I'll get ready, put on my scrubs, go in front of my mirror and just like, dance it out. And if I'm like walking to my car, like with my matcha in my hand, I'm just like dancing, like being so happy and just like romanticizing every little thing in my life because it truly does make a difference. It makes me so happy. It makes me excited to get up for the day. And when I'm sad, I think about sad music and I pretend like I'm in a sad music video. Like, I remember back in middle school, Demi Lovato, she would sing like a bunch of sad songs. And I remember pretending being super sad and just like pretending that I'm in her music video, being sad, being emo. I don't know. It's just so fun. And yeah, that was just me being me. And I still do it till this day. And it's very great for my soul. Okay, I think, yeah, that's all I have for my self-interview questions. The next thing that we're going to get into is I have 3 would you rather questions here so that I can expose myself more and show you guys who I truly am. I make myself laugh. You should laugh at yourself more. It's great. Don't take yourself so seriously, guys. Like, seriously, life is not that deep. Laugh more, joke more, be more whimsical. Okay, first, would you rather question. Would you rather always have laundry piled up or always forget laundry is in the washer? Okay, wait, but like, why is this me? I would rather have laundry piled up. Because if you forget your laundry in the washer, it's going to stink and you're going to have to just keep rewashing it and rewashing it and rewashing it. So I'd rather just have laundry piled up. I mean, like, that's me anyways. So yeah, but I am getting better. I am trying to make it a habit to fold my laundry right away when it's done. But sometimes, life just gets in the way and sometimes you just leave it there. And that's how you grab your clothes, is when it's on top of the stack of the dried clothes. We're only human here, guys. Okay, second, would you rather? Would you rather always be 10 minutes early and awkward or always be 5 minutes late and stressed? Oh, I already am that person who is at my destination 10 to 15 minutes early because I just hate being stressed. I hate being late. The last time I was stressed about being late, I hit my roommate's boyfriend's truck because I was rushing and I was late. So I feel like every time I'm rushing, something always bad happens because I'm rushing. And yeah, I don't want to be doing that. My biggest pet peeve is when I have dinner reservations with friends and they're late. Like, you're wasting my time. I'm hungry. They can't sit us until we're all here. It's just annoying. So if you've ever done that to me, don't ever do that to me again. Okay? All right, last would you rather accidentally send a risky text to your boss or your mom? Ooh. Guys, if I'm being quite honest, my mom, being the Filipina that she is, if I were to send her a risky text, she would probably not even understand it. She would be like, huh? Ano to? Ano tong isisend mo sa akin? Na. And it'd just be that. Like, she wouldn't even care. So I would rather send it to my mom and not my boss because that would be weird. I feel like if I were to send a risky text to my boss, I would just quit. Just to save myself from the embarrassment. Yeah. Okay, well, that's it. that's all I have for this little episode of introducing myself and what this podcast is going to be about. Guys, we're going to get into it. We're going to hear the good, the bad, the ugly, the experiences I've had, everything in between. And I can't wait to keep filming. I'm already so excited to film my next episode. I hope that you guys have a great week. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot. The last thing that I want to talk about, and what I'm going to make a regular thing that I do here on this podcast before I say goodbye to you guys, is I'm going to be talking about my small wins of the week, because I feel like we have to celebrate everything in life. Okay. I've been doing this and it has definitely changed my life. So with that being said, my first small win of the week is filming this podcast. Guys, I tried to film this podcast yesterday and I just kept recording and stopping it because I was so nervous and scared. So now here I am filming this podcast, and it's a win because this has been like a long time coming. So very excited, and yeah, definitely a win for me. Second small win of the week is parallel parking and getting it in one try. I am from a very small island where you don't need to parallel park anywhere. I feel like the only place you need to parallel park, I mean, there is, but I feel like the only place that you would really, really need to parallel park is downtown Hilo, and I live in Honoka'a, so we don't have that. Yeah. I was scared of parallel parking and I didn't want to learn how to do it for like a really long time. So the fact that I was able to do it this week, I am so happy. I was literally like backing up, doing this, and I'm like, oh, period. Like I knew that I did it. It was so funny. I was very proud of myself. And then the third small win of the week is that I worked on a Sunday and I actually enjoyed it. Yeah. I worked today. It's Sunday. I usually don't work on Sundays, and I really enjoyed it. It was a very not slow day. I mean, I had a full caseload today, but there was no traffic because it was on the weekend, and I got to my first destination in like 20 minutes. During the week, it would take me like 30 to 40 minutes. So that was really fun. I had a good day, and yeah, it was good weather. So I consider that a win. All right, besties, that is all I have for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed me rambling, and I hope that I made sense, because yeah, I still don't know what I'm doing, but I can't wait to keep sharing more, and I'm very excited to film my next episode. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.